My brothers and sisters, in this video we're going to talk about the 7 reasons why you should pray. Stay tuned to the end of this video and I'm going to reveal to you my favorite of the 7 reasons of why you should pray and how it affects my lives. Now let's go ahead and get right into this. What is prayer, first of all? Prayer is basically just communication with God. The first reason I have why you should pray is Jesus had to pray. How do I know Jesus had to pray? Well, I'm going to give you 3 examples, and they're in Luke and Mark. Matthew and Luke. And these are examples of Jesus praying. The first one was when he was on the cross, about to die. He said, "Father, Father, why have you forsaken me?" He was praying. He was communicating with God. The second example I want to give was when he was about to die. He said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," referring to the people who had hung him on the cross. Lastly, the last example I'm going to give is right after Jesus walked on the water and he was with his disciples. He was heading back to the shore and he told his disciples that he needed to leave and go up to the mountains and pray. These are 3 examples of Jesus praying, and there's many more. Now, if Jesus, as the Son of God, had to pray, best believe that us, as followers of Christ, who are just humans, we're not even, we're not on Jesus' level at all. We definitely need to pray. Now I have the second reason why you have to pray, and I call this the flesh and the spirit. So inside of us, there's a battle going on. You have to battle your flesh as followers of Christ. You constantly need to deny your flesh and walk in your spirit. Now, the flesh is made up of things such as anger, envy, jealousy, regret, greed, arrogance, pity, guilt, resentment, false pride, ego. Those are just some examples of the flesh. Now here's some examples of the spirit. It would be joy, peace, love, humility, kindness, benevolence, compassion, truth, faith, generosity. So inside of you, you have a battle going on and you have those 2 different things. Now you're going to ask yourself, which one's going to win? Which side is going to win in that battle? Your flesh or your spirit? And the answer is simply the one you feed the most. So if you fall into sin and you're doing fleshly things, your flesh is going to grow stronger. But if you go into prayer and you constantly communicate with God, your spirit is going to grow stronger. So it's a battle waging within you, and the simple answer is you ask yourself, which one's going to win? And the simple answer would be the one you feed the most. Now let's go into the third reason why you should pray. This one I call, communication with your relationship with God. Prayer is communication with God. If you want to have a strong relationship with God, you're going to have to pray. Okay? Your relationship has to have communication. And your most important relationship is the one with God. The fourth reason why you should pray is discernment. When you pray, you constantly are in communication with God, your discernment grows stronger. And when your discernment grows stronger, you're able to discern good against evil. There's many times, someone that just comes to you and says, I'm good, or I'm a follower of a Christ. A lot of times you need your discernment to know whether or not they're from God. It says to test the spirit. Discernment is very important. If you're not able to have discernment, you're going to, as a Christian, be very easy to manipulate. You'll be able to be manipulated by demons, by people, by media, by all types of things. So discernment is important, and the way you strengthen your discernment is by constantly communicating and talking to God. Because God, when you're in constant communication with Him, He'll let you know when something's a little off. Okay, now the next reason I have why you should pray is because I call it manifesting in the spirit realm. Now, what does that mean? Well, basically, from my walk with God, I have seen that anything that I want to happen in this physical realm first starts off in the spiritual realm. Meaning, when I start praying to God and I start asking for it, first of all, let's go to a definition of manifesting. Manifesting refers to bringing specific desires, goals, or outcomes into reality. They'll focus through thoughts, beliefs, and actions. So your action of praying is going to help you manifest what you want. When you pray and you ask God for things, or you bring things that are on your heart to God, you're manifesting it in the spiritual realm. And as soon as that takes place, it's going to bring it into the physical realm. And now we're going to talk about the sixth reason why you should pray. And I call it spiritual discipline. As followers of Christ, it's very important that we have discipline. If we don't have no discipline in our spiritual life, how are we going to stay strong in our spiritual life? Discipline is key. If any person wants to be successful, they want to do anything in their life, they have to have discipline. Discipline is the most important thing. Discipline is doing something that you may not want to do, but still doing it, and doing it like you love it. You know what I mean? And sometimes we don't want to pray. There are times I don't want to pray, but I pray anyways. And that builds spiritual discipline. And what happens is that as you continue to do it, it gets easier and easier. And now I have the last reason why you should pray. The last reason you should pray is praying and communicating and talking to God is an expression of your love to God. Like any relationship, when you communicate, when you talk to that person, you're showing love, especially with God. And we love God, right? God loves us. So it's only right that we show him some love, give him some prayer, talk to him. God, what are you doing today? God, thank you for everything you've done for me. In my other video that I have, 10 different types of prayer, that gives you 10 different ways to pray. And you should check that video out. Now, I wanted to also say that my favorite type of these 7 is just showing love to God. I love God so much. He has done so much for me. Over the years, I was a drug addict. He completely changed my life. My life is just changing before my eyes. And it's brought so much joy and peace and love to my heart. There's nothing more that I want to do than to show God love. And I want to give you guys a challenge. Okay? If you guys have a strong prayer life, you're on the right track. But if you're not, you got to understand that when you pray, it gets easier, guys. When you continually pray, it's hard sometimes to start off, but if you continually do it, it gets easier. So I want you guys to try to pray every day for 30 days straight. And do it consistently. Everyone's different. Some people can don't go too hard in the beginning. Start off easy. Start off 15 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day. Look online and look for different types of prayers if you need help. Or go to that other video, the 10 different types of prayer that I have. That'll help you. And do it for 30 days. And watch, at the end of the 30 days, you're going to love praying. God bless you guys. I love you. Bye.